Hey everyone, welcome back to the Steel Donut. My name is Matt, and with me today I have Connor.
Hello there.
Bob.
Hey, this is my current intro line.
And Blake.
Hey everybody.
And we are in the fresh, back recording another episode of our favorite book, Night Watcher, by our favorite author, Dick Boer.
Woo, there's
Ooh,
boy,
yeah.
old man Dick Boer.
Oh my God.
Him in his youth.
Oh, yeah.
Back when he was only
A boy in spring.
An audio portrait of the artist at a young age.
At a relatively young age, yeah. So this is chapter 14. Johnny Farthing.
Chaboy.
Who was the guy who showed up and gave that big speech.
He's the guy who set up
that
Bean
gave
so
that
that he could get
who
killed.
gave that congregation, like in the chapter 11.
Yeah, he's the one who set up Bean so that he could get killed.
Yeah, he gave a sermon that would tear this church apart. And by tear this church apart, it means makes Beanie come forward to accept Jesus when he already has.
Yeah, and then everyone
Tear this church apart.
Yeah. Well, Beanie's so egotistical. He thinks of himself as the church.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
This is chapter 14. Take it away.
I couldn't sleep. I had to do something. Seeing Shirley with Urga dropped the bottom out of my stomach.
Ew, lesbians.
I must have scared her right into their hands when Space_I told her they were watching her.
Yeah,
I guess
he's going to continue to get worse from here.
I guess it was a case of, if you can't fight them, join them.
Now the real question is he typing with one hand, or is he just really late typing this?
I think he might just be wrong.
Well, actually, he lost both his hands fighting in both world wars. So.
Yeah, and
Like
he lost
his toes.
And he lost his feet in the Revolutionary War.
That's what I was going to say. Do you remember Napoleon? Because he does.
Yeah. He
I
actually lost his sense of smell in this huge battle against Xerxes. You may have heard of him.
Yeah.
They actually made a movie based on it.
Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah, Dick Boer got his gun.
Well, I really
Apparently, he's been completely disabled.
Yeah. If you can't fight him, join him is not the phrase.
Yeah. No, the phrase is if you can't eat them, join them.
Yeah. If you can't eat him, beat him.
No.
Shirley
My
didn't
favorite
even
Atari
try
game.
to fight. Yeah.
Alright, so I called the church. Hello, this is Bean Spencer. Is Mr. Farthing around there anywhere? The church secretary said he'd been in the morning, but wasn't there now. She suggested I try Pastor Gruber's house.
Oh man, here we go.
I called there.
Oh, it's Mrs. Gruber.
Oh, hello, Bean.
British? Mrs. Gruber gushed. Ooh.
Jeez, come on.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. So
we're going back to that chapter.
Wait a minute. So church secretary's like, oh shit. Well, it's the middle of the day, and I better, usually the pastor would be at work, right? So he calls for Mr. Farthing, who's not at the church because he's at Pastor Gruber's house with Pastor Gruber's wife.
Yes.
While Pastor Gruber is at work.
Yes.
Okay. Just making sure.
Also,
And she's gushing.
well, I was going to say, we're going back to that chapter.
Yeah.
Remember that one, boys?
Yeah.
We all thought it was so wonderful that you came forward last night. It showed us how right we were to ask the Egglestons to be our youth leaders in junior high. We were so pleased to see you.
Wait a
Ellipsis.
minute. Is this still the same next day?
Yes.
Ended yet?
I like how every time Bean does just ruins his life more.
I like how we've been on this same day for the last 3 chapters.
By the way, I love that the end quote is on the next line. Good job, Dick Boer.
Yeah. That's where the quotes go.
God, why is his error per page number going up and up and up?
Yeah. Oh no! I groaned inside.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Grown me up inside.
Grown
Can't grown
on
up.
the inside.
I groaned inside as she talked on. Everything I do, everything I say gets misinterpreted.
Yeah.
What a wacky, kooky
If
world
he's just
we
not
all live in.
listening to her.
Yeah.
Decided that we would give the Egglestons an increase in salary for the fine work and fine influence they are on you all. We've even decided to put their brother Buddy on the payroll. Don't you think that's wonderful, Bean?
Should you really be dispensing this information? I mean, this is people's pay. It's kind of classified.
Also, why on earth, how does she even get the impression that they're working wonders in the church?
Also, how is youth pastor a salaried position?
Yeah, that's also weird.
Typically, it's
That's
something you do
actually
as a
weird.
volunteer thing.
Yeah. Well, apparently,
Or if
it's
you-
not.
or if
It's
you
not
do
even
get-
like a pay per hour thing. It's like It's an increase in salary. They're paid by year.
Well, that's what I'm saying. And honestly, depending on the size, sometimes it's volunteer, or if it's a bigger thing, it is a paid position.
Right.
But it's still not a salaried position,
Yeah,
usually.
no.
He's
I
a
mean, like,
salary man.
Fuck, I didn't make I wasn't salaried, and I worked as an engineer at GE. Like, I'm pretty sure that's not a salaried position.
And then just telling him all this. I mean,
Yeah.
what's next? They're going to sacrifice somebody, like burn them at the stake, and they'll be like,
They made great barbecue the other day.
like nothing they do could ever go wrong for them. I don't mean to interrupt, Mrs. Gruber, but I would like to talk to Mr. Farthing. I waited in the prayer room for him last night, but he never came.
Oh, he came earlier.
Oh, he came all right.
When the pastor's away.
The Gruber's playing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Bean, how awful. I think he just thought you'd gone home when he didn't see you after the service.
No,
Okay,
enter.
all right. So they are like Dick Boer is so hung up on this whole went to the prayer room and nobody saw or remembered he went there that this I'm positive happened to Dick Boer. He was a kid.
Yeah.
He prayed, went into the room, assumed everyone saw for some reason, and didn't, and just left him there. And he just had to throw it in the story. And it's
Yeah.
like he's like you would see him.
He's
trying
like,
to-
it's like him trying to justify him
he's trying to-
feeling like it was weird, and everybody else going, "No,
Yeah.
Dick,
like
no,
it's him trying to self-rationalize. Like, it doesn't make sense. Didn't they see me? And then other characters go, well, maybe they didn't see him. Maybe he just went home. It's like, come on,
They're
dude.
giving 100 other logical reasons for him to not see you.
Actually, if you remember correctly, reading history, this actually caused the schism.
Oh.
This is why
Catholicism and Protestantism split.
Yeah, Protestantism split because he
Dick Boer was the one who wrote the 95 Theses,
Yeah.
and then he just gave it to Luther, and Luther
Luther-
reprinted them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Dick Boer
History remembers it a little differently.
Dick Boer wrote the 95 Theses and thought that the Pope had seen them, and
Right.
the Pope didn't even notice they were
So
there.
Luther went ahead
Whoa.
and started posting them.
Yeah, and so he got really mad.
Yeah.
And he's still salty about it, all
to
these
this
hundreds
day.
of years later.
Dick Boer saw it on someone's door and went, "Oh, repost! What the heck?"
But and also you gotta like how Beanie's response here isn't on the next line.
Yeah.
Is he staying with you?
I lost my
he's,
place.
He's staying with me. I don't know about my husband.
Yeah, big. Is this a big assumption, or was this set up before?
No, big assumption. I think.
Okay.
Yes, but he and my husband are out playing golf right now. Mondays are for pastors, what Saturdays are for other folks, you know.
Why?
Yeah.
Since when? I thought God kind of
What?
set aside a day of rest for humans, not for everyone but pastors.
Yeah.
But we're having guests for dinner, so I know they'll be back early. I'll tell Johnny you called, Bean dear.
Thank you, ma'am. I did my homework. I set the table for supper. Mom came home and we talked about the problem.
The problem.
Period, comma.
I was about to say, comma.
Almost murdered last night.
I should know the next sentence starts with comma, space, I told her I wanted to tell Johnny Farthing. She agreed that I had to get across to someone who had some authority.
Oh,
how does he
like
have
the
any
cop.
how does he have any authority in this church? He's a traveling pastor, and he sounds like a televangelist with his whole
But keep in mind, he is banging the pastor's wife.
True.
You know what? Also, speaking of authority, he could have told the cop. He's got a lot of authority. He's a part of the law.
Yeah, Joel Mole does have significant
He's a
amounts
lieutenant.
of
He's a fucking lieutenant.
Yeah.
He's literally a part of the authorities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like he's in some voluntary position.
But
that said, even if it were, apparently in this town, that would be a salary job.
Exactly. He's like, Bean's like sitting there thinking, who could I go to about these satanic, about
People
these
that almost fucking killed my mom.
Yeah, these Satanists that tried to kill me, my mom. They give out drugs and alcohol.
Yeah.
To kids.
A traveling
those are-
televangelist.
Yeah, those things, those are all wrong things. And you know what we do to people who do wrong things in this country? We say no, and we go to church.
Yeah, and then we go talk to the traveling televangelist.
Yeah.
So,
You'd have better luck going to the circus.
yeah. We got the supper dishes cleared and washed and put away. I tried to help all I could since Mom was really tired when she gets home. And now she's in fear that someone's going to be waiting to grab her.
Yeah, that too.
I
It's
finished
called the buddy system. It's to help you prevent getting killed by buddy.
I finished my homework and waited. No one called. Why do you just sit around waiting for people to call you? Just go do things.
Yeah, it's like, I understand if you're like afraid to you've got social anxiety or something, you can't go reach out to help or whatever. But like, you know what to do, you know who to call, and you also, like, have tried before, but the second it becomes inconvenient for the plot, Dick Borer just has him, like, wait.
Yeah.
You just go, oh, okay, I guess I'll just stop doing anything and just wait.
Yeah.
But yeah, no one called. It's almost 9, I said to my mother. He still hasn't called.
Mrs. Gruber said they were having company to dinner, didn't she? Perhaps he can't break loose. He'll call.
He didn't call.
Oh, well, okay.
Burn!
She went to bed.
Yeah.
I waited. I waited.
It's been 2 days and he hasn't called.
And look, he's about to be nasty to God. I waited a little longer and I went to bed. Lord, don't you want anyone to know? What do I do about this mess? Can't you find me someone who will listen?
Fuck you!
What an like seriously, what a repugnant little sheesh.
Hey, Beanie.
You're the one who believes in this all-powerful God. Fuck you.
Beanie,
Yeah.
I have spoken, and
Yeah.
my words are, fuck you.
Like, does the world revolve? He thinks the whole world revolves around
I'd
him.
like to remind you, Beanie, fuck you, Bean.
Look at this.
Shit, Bean.
No one called the next morning before school.
You
Yeah.
motherfucker, call them back. They might have fucking forgotten.
Yeah.
I mean, you told the pastor's wife, and she's really old. Maybe she forgot it.
Well, maybe she's really old. We don't really know.
I don't know how-
Her husband's
I'm going
supposed
off
to
of
be-
Matt's characterization.
I guess- well, yeah, Connor's characterization too.
Also, Mr. Farthing and the pastor are apparently shacking up too.
But yeah,
So I left and went
they
through my
went
day.
to quote unquote golf. They're just knocking around some balls.
I love this. I left and went through my day. It was a day like all the other days. Nice. All work and no play.
Makes being a dull.
Dull,
boy.
Oh my god, so dull.
You see his rhymes? It was a day like all the other days. All work and no play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh shit, rapper alert.
Yeah. I tried to think of a plan of attack, but my mind was blank. His plan
Damn.
was blank.
Yeah.
I got my bike lock off and was kicking my leg over when I...
Sounds like he had
Like
to
kicking
bust
across-
it out.
Yeah, like he lost his, what's the word?
He lost
Leg. Like, what,
Yeah.
what would you call, like, a...
Peg leg or
Like
fake
a
leg?
prosthetic leg.
Yeah.
And he's just kicking it over to the bike.
Yeah.
Was kicking my leg over when I heard my name. I looked up.
I was hoping I'd run into you here.
The man was Johnny Farthing. Oh, you probably shouldn't go on the school grounds to talk to children you aren't related to.
Yeah, well-
Johnny Farthing.
I got a call from this child. I must go see him.
Johnny Farthing does what Johnny Farthing does.
You
I
wanna
go where I go. I am the highest authority.
you wanna come back to my confession booth, son, and talk this over?
Yeah.
I call it the back seat of my Lincoln.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
He calls it that. It's not just that. It is. He calls it
He
that.
calls the back seat of his Lincoln his confession
Backseat.
booth.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
thought
I
he
see.
called
Yeah,
his
that's the
confessional the backseat of his Lincoln.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's not talking about going to a real confession booth, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Oh, so they're not probably going to do any confession, are they?
Oh, no.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
Connect the dots.
Scandalous.
They told me you rode your bike to school. I figured I could catch you here. Can we go somewhere and talk?
I looked around. The cafeteria is closed.
Oh, we don't need anything to eat. I'm sorry. We don't need to eat anything. I just need you to drink this.
Lord, won't you send someone who isn't, like, selling drugs?
Yeah, you just need to take a hit of this good shit. That's all.
Isn't there a bench we can sit in?
I pointed to the tennis courts. I know a cop on a first-name basis.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Go.
I don't talk to him though. I don't interact with
Oh, yeah,
him, even
this
when
is
he tries to help me.
This could be a serious problem, so he would never call the cops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I point to the tennis courts. They've got benches over there.
Fine. Lock your bike up. Let's go over there.
It's so creepy.
Why can't he take his bike with him? It's just
Because then he has an escape route.
No,
Why
yeah,
would
he's
he-
riding home with Johnny.
I just like he.
You rode your bike.
Surely he could ride his bike over to the tennis court and just have it there.
Let's
instead
put your bike in the trunk of my
instead
car.
of locking.
One
I got a
block.
shed real close by. We can lock your bike up in there.
Oh my god!
Mr. Farthing, I see a lot of other bikes in here.
This one's so small. Man, I love the look on Connor's face as he tries not to laugh. Oh, man. So I locked up and took my book bag off my back.
And put it where? You
Just threw it on the ground. He's going to leave it by the bike.
Yeah, they're just gonna find a bike and a book bag and just go, whatever. The police are like, oh, we better get a pastor in here.
Yeah.
We need to get that Johnny Farthing fellow. He's the highest authority.
Yeah, he knows what's going on. I looked for you after the service the other night. Mrs. Gruber said you were waiting for me in the prayer room. I didn't know you were there. And I'm terribly sorry, Guy. You must have thought I didn't care.
Guy?
You must have thought that.
He's
That's the logical conclusion.
Yeah, see, Dick Boer was finally able to figure it out in his mind. He's at peace with the stupid thing that happened to him. I nodded.
I'd gone to bed.
I figured.
Okay, easy, kid. Can we lower the tension a little bit? Like, chill.
We walked through the door in the fence and sat down on the bench. Guys were practicing their tennis, making their pop-pop sounds as they volleyed back and forth.
Pop, pop,
Like,
motherfucker's gonna
they're
drop.
like hitting the tennis ball and going pop, 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 pop.
No, dude.
They're popping
Pop,
champagne.
Pop, pop, motherfucker's gonna drop.
Yeah.
Volley coming for you, pop, pop.
Yeah. Pop-pop.
Oh.
The Lord's been working in your heart.
Yeah, I really want his will in my life. I guess I didn't have it before despite being a pastor's son and a lifelong Christian.
Apparently, yeah. This is new to him. You showed that Sunday night. It wasn't easy to come down in front of all your friends.
Who already go to church. Like, what is
In front
this,
of all
Dick
your
Boer?
friends.
Yeah.
Oh, see, it
Big
wasn't
air
easy.
quotes around
It wasn't
that.
easy because he didn't have any friends.
Yeah.
It wasn't easy because they kept getting in his way.
Yeah.
Like, who are you? I'm trying to get to the front. Let me get to...
Yeah.
Did you have any questions about dedicating your life to the Lord?
No, you made it very clear. I know what's involved.
Yeah, because you've been doing it for a while.
You've already done this.
You know that moment-by-moment prayer is part of living the Christ life.
Yeah.
The Christ. That's such a weird. It's a weird way to phrase it. Yeah.
Hey,
The Christ life.
Also, if anyone's wondering, that is thunder. It's storming.
Yeah.
If you can hear that on mic, I feel like you can. It's kind
Yeah.
of really loud.
It's really loud out
Yeah,
here.
it sounds like a person riding a mini bike upstairs.
Yeah.
Like, it's-
And again, knowing my brother, it might be.
yeah.
We go up there and it's like a dirt works. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh man. So it's oh, I pray all the time. I couldn't do anything without the Lord's help.
without hyphenated for some reason. Are you reading your Bible every day?
I nodded.
I feel like that's
Maybe
a
not.
lie. I haven't heard any mention of him reading a Bible. in a
Yeah,
while.
actually, I haven't heard. The only time he ever read the Bible was when he was calling someone out for getting the passage wrong.
Yeah.
And then he got the passage wrong.
Maybe not every day. Not because I don't want to, but some days I'm up and running before I have a chance to even think. Well, son, it sounds like you're already a pretty decent Christian.
Yeah.
I don't know what you need my help for.
I really don't know why you came down there, come to think of it. I see why everyone's making fun of you at school. You really didn't have to
You
do
are
that.
kind of a little dork, aren't you?
Wait a minute. How did you know about that?
I was the one who started the rumors.
Oh.
That's right. He goes from town to town starting rumors about children.
No.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, being these boys certainly do talk.
Oh, fuck. Jeez.
Weird.
Connor
cracked a smile that makes me happy.
Yeah. This is like the laugh meter in the middle. It's like hitting the hammer. It's like,
Yeah.
all right. So,
What about feeling guilty? Are you a Catholic?
I know I don't always do the things.
aimed at you. Oh, Catholic boy.
I know I don't always do the things I should, and a lot of times I do the things I shouldn't.
Sometimes I learn from my mistakes, and
So
sometimes
I really fucking don't. We're all like that. But we can confess our sins and know that He will be faithful and just to forgive them.
Yeah, I'm glad of that.
Weird phrasing.
What is
This is the weirdest conversation.
Yeah, like,
ever.
why is this even happening? Like, are we the readers getting any new information about Bean or Johnny Farthing
No.
from this? Johnny Farthing's
Johnny
not
who?
even getting new information about this. Anything else you want to talk about, or can I just go?
I gave him a long look. Could I really trust him? I knew I had to try. It's our youth group.
Oh? And that's O to the question mark power.
That's a superscript question mark.
And those quotation marks are in the middle.
Oh, wow.
So
How did he
is
do
that?
that?
A subscript quotation
I believe
mark?
those are subscript quotation marks, regular O, superscript question mark.
Wow.
That's like an indie band name.
I'm gonna zoom in. It's gonna be filling the screen right now. This O. It'll be a shirt. We'll have a shirt with that on.
That'd be a great shirt, actually.
Oh? And people are like, why the fuck are the punctuation all over the place?
It's like, well, you should watch our boys at the steel dome.
No, it's artsy. It's artsy.
So, Mr. Bean's like, yeah, we've got new leaders.
Yes, I met them. Mrs. Gruber had them over to dinner last night.
Oh, fucking hell.
They were there until quite late. That's why I couldn't call.
They're like the ultimate villains. They're always where... they're always where Bean
No, see, they're
doesn't
just tracking his phone, right? They're just keeping tabs on his phone to see who he calls, and then they'll just go visit that person. Because Bean never visits the person the same day he calls them.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, you want to set up a meeting for conveniently next Tuesday? Giving the bad guys plenty of time to go meet you first? Okay.
And then look at how stupid this is. My heart sank to my socks. That's a real Dick Borerism right there.
No, he's mentioning it now just because it's like the new hip thing. The invention of socks.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't have those back
They didn't have...
before was an old man.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did they mention me?
Come to think of it, they did. We laughed about a notion Dave said you'd gotten into your head.
Well, Dick! Fucking Dick! They
A bunch of adults sat around a table at dinner and laughed about a child.
And the next day, we told that child we laughed about him behind his back.
We're a bunch of fucking assholes. Did you know that? Something about his being a warlock and his wife being a witch. Where do you get ideas like that, Bean? These aren't the Dark Ages.
Well,
I remember. I was there.
I get the idea of trying to throw them off the trail, but straight up saying what they are and hoping that they won't be taken seriously at all is a little much.
Get
Like
this.
this
Get
was
this.
a gambit.
This kid thinks we're warlocks and witches. What the heck?
Yeah,
But they
they
only
think-
do a little bit of magic.
They think that
And then Erga just goes,
Yeah.
like at the dinner table.
Yeah. They think they were like giving alcohol to the kids. Wait a minute, Bean had alcohol in his breath the other night. Was that
Like I said,
crazy kid?
they think that.
Yeah.
like they're really kind of playing this one close
We
to
all
the
know
chest.
Bean, he's a liar and a drunkard.
I also like.
If we
Liar,
could,
drunk.
if we could
He
throw,
fell down several flights of stairs.
He's got these paranoid, schizophrenic delusions. Says kids were trying to kill
Oh,
him.
Bean.
He was just seeing
You freaking
shadows.
scamp.
He was just seeing shadows and knives.
Bean was
Just
talking about
floating by.
His mom's also schizophrenic.
No, did you hear where Bean was talking about how his mom was threatened but knife point?
Yeah.
No, actually, I hadn't heard about that. He hasn't mentioned. He will.
He says a buddy here did it, but he's just like, I know, right? And they're just like, seriously? They're saying you did that? And they're both saying that.
It's like, oh,
And she has bruises. What a crazy dream they must have had.
Kawink-e-dink.
Yeah. Weird. It's weird how both of them fell down the stairs at the same time and both blamed you.
Two skateboards at the top of the stairs.
Bean, are you alive?
Bean,
like fucking Home Alone.
Bean fell down his porch stairs and got put in the ICU for a couple days and broke his leg or something.
His face was pounded into pulp, I heard.
By the sidewalk.
All the kids know about it.
like seriously.
Some of the kids helped.
Like how do they think they're getting away with this? Like
They are.
They are.
That's the funniest part. They
They are because Bean's just such a fuck that
Yeah, nobody believes him anyway.
The Egglestons just have to try the bare minimum, and everyone's with them.
and,
Yeah.
and if you think we're being mean to Bean, he's actually probably at his least annoying in this story. Some of the others, he is the most insufferable character in
Yeah,
the world.
in this story, he's actually kind of okay.
But there's
Ish.
there's like one where he like writes a newspaper article
Yeah, it's
about
like
how
the
women
first-
shouldn't be allowed to do sports.
It's like the first thing he does in the story.
He's such an asshole.
that's
And by
like
the
the
way,
first book,
by the
right?
way, yeah, and then by the way, the lesson at the end isn't that women can do sports. That's not the lesson. He does not learn that lesson. The lesson he learns is that he needs to get the women doing something else to get good at their sports.
Yeah, it's a mystery novel, and the mystery of why the women's volleyball team sucks, and the mystery is solved
by
And the mystery is they just suck.
they
Beans
just suck. And Bean starts to
Nothing.
coach them a little bit better.
Yeah,
that's the solution to the mystery.
solution
So,
is
yeah.
just they suck.
Yeah.
So just know, like, this is the 4th book. He's been an asshole his whole life. Like, everyone here knows him.
That's why they. That's
don't
why
take
they
him
laugh.
seriously.
That's why they laugh about him behind his back, and adults do at dinner parties.
And then he's, and then if you like that heart metaphor, it keeps going. My heart went out through the soles of my shoes. David cut me off again. He was making it a point to get to people ahead of me and convince them he was right. I was so disappointed. I just wilted where I sat.
You're starting to mix your metaphors. So, like, your heart sank, and now you're a plant. And
No.
Yeah.
And then I got mad. I stood up and pointed my finger at him. You guys are so trusting. Why don't you ever think?
good hyphenated word right there.
Oh man, remember there's double think, there's ever think.
Yeah.
Seriously,
Gotta watch out for
seriously,
that everything.
Why has Dick Boer's writing gotten so much worse suddenly?
And it's not even like errors you would make
Normally.
It's like you have to go out of your way to make
To
this.
hyphenate ever and think. Don't you ever think?
To get confused about superscript and subscript for a while back up there.
Yeah. You believe the first person that gets to you, and you just swallow everything everybody says without testing it, without checking up on it.
Wow,
That's a good
is he
sense.
really describing skepticism right now?
Yeah, you don't know those guys. You don't know what they're doing. I was so upset I started to cry. I turned away, and then I came back at him. They are witches. They are demon-possessed. He laughed. and Dave is about to be... He's gone from being, like, prescient to actually psychic.
Like,
Yeah, that should be evidence for it.
Yeah.
Those are the exact words he said you'd say. It's like a crazy coincidence that he predicted your entire rant. That's crazy.
I couldn't talk to this guy. I just had to get out of there. I turned and just bolted from my bike. I got the lock off and I was
Oh no, you're not gonna... Okay.
I got the lock off and I was down the street before you could say your name. I didn't even
Bob.
look back. Oh, you better. You guys just follow on.
Yeah.
I was so furious I couldn't even cry, except I was just crying.
And
end of chapter.
And that's where it ends.
So I like how all these chapters, nothing's been happening.
yeah, like the last 3
it's
chapters.
just Beanie getting showed up.
12, Buddy takes Bean's mom hostage and then Bean scares him off. 13, Bean just talks to people. 14, nothing happens.
just talks to people.
We're just at the low point of the story progression, right?
It's the what is it? That storytelling thing.
Oh no.
No, it's that storytelling thing where they reach the high and then the
Climax,
heroes.
denouement, then boredom.
No. I was gonna say, where the heroes have to reach their lowest point, except instead of the heroes reaching their lowest point, it's just the stories reaching
The
their lowest
readers
point.
reach their lowest point.
Well, I'm sure things will get much more exciting in the next chapter, 15. Peter Piper.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we have a public Discord. I was thinking we were
so
gonna end on the and then like
Yeah, we should.
But no,
we should just end
we should
on
probably
the-
plague. Well, I can't speak.
Plag.
Plug.
Plug,
You should plug it. We have a public Discord link in the description. I really can't speak. Can somebody else take over?
Yeah, we have a public Discord.
Yeah.
Okay, we have a public Discord in the description. You can go there and hang out with us. You can also request stories there. You can also email them, leave them in the comments. We'll find them, check them out, and if they're funny, we'll read them.
Yeah.
All right, thanks for watching.
Bye.